up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? This is my Big Diva coming to y'all with another video. Now, today on the menu we have sausage, turkey sausage, cheese eggs with a splash of cedar peppers, and then we have the actual tater tot. That's gonna go fab with the eggs, guys. And I got some little, not it's not lip gloss, it's Carmex. It's this and it's the bomb. I had bought a 3 pack of these not recently, but I had it was inside my in the dryer where I found it. Nobody's sure, guys. Let's try it. Let's try. Thank y'all for watching my videos. So, even though I'm just starting out, but a little goes a long way. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, that's I gotta try to do my own camera because I don't want to just let it sit around or whatever. But then I don't want to I'm not scared, but I don't want to not use it on the videos because I gotta learn how to. It should be easy once I get the hang of it. It should be also easy. I'll probably do something and see today or something and see if I could do the video. My sister's Jamaican for a month. She out in Jamaica. Under the tree, she just called me. Phone hung up. Poor connection. Under the tree, onto the beach. We got a lot exploring to do. Under the sea, into the beach. We need our binoculars to see the side of the island. Yeah, yeah, yo, she's in Jamaica. I forgot what part she said she was. Yeah, she like Jamaica. You know, I used to mess with them. Yeah. No, no bad history, just wow, like yeah. Oh no, no. Would I do it again? Probably. But I'm gonna be here today. I wouldn't be sitting here today in this chair if it wasn't for my kids. Nothing like this. No, I know I'm gonna be fair that I know I'm gonna go through the journey of life to teach you or to get better. Well, teaching is getting better, but you go through a journey of life to better yourself or to worsen yourself. You know? And it plans you for your for the for your future also. As far as moving forward. And if you want to continue to be that person where, you know, people, places, and things go a long way. And it's going to have to be drug bound. Anything. They're caught up for nothing. little kids in the female thing. Yeah, that's them. They mom. I'm not. I mean, I'm older, but even if I was younger, I wouldn't dare let my kids talk to me any kind of way because I messed up in life. You're not supposed to question me, and I'm not finished talking. You're not supposed to question me and all that because I said these kids question their parents, but the truth of the matter is nobody's perfect. And how could you question me? That's not your position to do that. And as soon as my daughter tried to question me a couple times, I checked her. You are not allowed to question. Only person who can question me is the man that made me. Is that created that man upstairs? That's who questioned me. You're not him. You're not him, and that's what's wrong with these kids these days because they questioning their mother and their parents is not wrong. I don't question my parents because I know it's beyond them. It's beyond. I might not like what they do, but I'm not gonna say why you did this and why you did that and all that. No, I'm not gonna do that. And therefore, these kids, I seen it, y'all, on TV. Um, why you do that? And then you got people in their ear talking, and it's not right because as humans we make mistakes. You know what I mean? And some of them, come around too late. It is what it is. They come around too late, but still they came. They came. Your heart that cruel. If they even tried to reach out to you, that should make sense, matter. Because a lot of them on drugs, a lot of them couldn't take care of their kids, and and then the depths are in the kids' ears and all that, turning them against their parents and all that, and they only hurting themselves. The child is the ones who turn out to be like the parents at the end, evil, mean, disrespectful. You know what I mean? And it's not a good look. That talk to your parents. I mean, to do your parents like that when no man on this earth is perfect, a perfect human being. And I think I don't like it. I don't like it, and they should tell them I'm not perfect. And some of them might do, and that means I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. You have done some things in your life also that I mean, if you didn't, it might happen. You know what I mean? It might not be that exact thing, but anything out your life, and you done did, and you did, and you be like, well, don't nobody gonna know, but and you know that it ain't perfect. You know, so he talked to him out one day, going greasy and grimy, and he little. So imagine when he get older, how he gonna talk to her like she below the scum of the earth, and that's his mother. He's like 6. He's like 6. Dude. I cursed him out, y'all. I cursed that old boy out. Um, I ain't know that was hard, but don't feel sorry for him. He ain't care what he said him after you. He ain't care. Don't feel sorry for him. He's bad. Uh, if nobody get a hold to him, now he's gonna be in a rude awakening. And wish he listened and all that. He talked to her. She caused it, some of it. But at a point in time, he expected you to adult. And that's the mother. So at the end of the day, yeah, to a degree, man, you gotta respect her. Cause she's not perfect and you not perfect. But to that degree, young or old, you must respect her. Both parents. Cause nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody. Jesus wasn't perfect, and we the image of him. So that means you're not perfect. You're not better than that man. So I'm not better than that man. I'm not gonna say I'm not better than that man upstairs because he wasn't perfect. Now, let me correct that. He wasn't perfect. I'm not perfect. I did things in my life, you know what I mean? And some things is meant to happen like that. And it's bad. God, he's a good guy and a bad guy, but at the end of the day, it's meant to happen. You can't change that. Nothing you can change that is already in the process of making by the creator. You cannot change his creation. You can't do it. You can help as far as building trees, cleaning up the ocean and stuff like that, but other than that, you can't change what's already was in the making. What's already is here to be done. You can't change. That's beyond your that's beyond your means. That's beyond your. You can't change what the Lord has already written. You can't change it. And the hearts of these people is wicked, man. It's wicked, and it might not have been your doing. It probably was the man upstairs doing. And then they think it's you and all this, and you the bad person and all that. He's a good guy and a bad guy, guys, and we all know this. And like I said, I don't want to, get too deep into, religious and all that stuff on here because it's a, I don't want to get too deep because it can get deep and deep and deep, and I don't want to, because everybody has their own religion. Everybody believes in something, and I can base my channel on, beliefs that and people supporting or watching my video. That's not good on my video, my part. But at the end of the day, we can bring up, certain things and just sit it on the table. Hello. Because then it'll get over here, my Lord, my God, and it's just too much. It's just too much. Instead of keeping it how it was kept simple, you know, you started off with the religious preference. You gave people the chance to choose what they wanted to look at and all that. That's my output on how I see it. Like, and I'm not hating. I'm just saying what I prefer. What I prefer. Because, like I said, everybody has their own religion. They worship different than other people. And, you don't want to. It's good to get a gospel, of course. It's good to get a gospel, but at the end of the day, you giving it, but you not saying, well, you need to be in this, or I'm this, or I'm basing my religion on certain things. Um, I, you know, I think the whole thing. That's just my perspective on life itself. For you to know the Bible is not to read the Bible. And for you to know the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, is not for you to read the Bible. You have to understand it. It's not. See, the Bible is not. You can read it, but if you don't know what they're talking about, you're not gonna understand it. You have to. For you to understand about, you have to keep reading the verses and the verses and the verses to really get the full intent of the Bible. Is or the Torah or the Quran, you have to read that thing a couple times because the Bible is going to keep going and going. The same words, thou this, thou that, this, that, and the third, and all that. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, I'm not here to be, because that's not what this channel is about. And I'm not going to make it about that and get my subscribers in. And then I'm going to do a Bible study where I'm talking about the Bible and all this stuff. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not hating on nobody. Nobody. Sometimes you don't have to ask to get blessed. Because when it's your turn, it's your turn. You don't have to ask. You don't have to ask the Lord for nothing because he's a giver. He's going to give it to you. You don't have to ask. If it's your time, it's just your time. It's just your time. He made it happen, but it's your time. And he got his eyes on you. You know, like when I got in that accident on the bus, and I'm really hurt. Like y'all, I'm really my arm and all of y'all know this. Whoever been watching me there. And I got on it before cause I let people get in front of me. I let the people get in front of the lady. I let her get in front of me, and then the little girl in the mine was raining out, and I was covered up and stuff like that, and I let them get in front of me, and something said, cause I was gonna sit in the back, yo, no lie, something said, sit in the front, and I sat in the front, and bam, fell asleep because I was on my muscle relaxer, so I fell asleep on the bus, didn't know what was going on. And I had that bad accident, messed my neck up, my arm, my feet. I was in a foot cast for like months, or arm cast for like weeks. Surgery, hopefully my arm's something because if not, he have to crack my arm, y'all. He really has to crack my arm to get my arm from lifting because he wanted like this, and all this, and all this, that, and swinging and all that. I can't do that. I can't lift it. So I have until the second, September the 2nd, when I go to see the doctor, which I had to reschedule. I probably do it sooner, hopefully, because if my arm don't do this and that and all this stuff, I have to go and get my arm cracked so my arm can move around, y'all. And mind you, I just had surgery in June. I had surgery the day before my daughter's birthday was June the 6th on my arm. I have little um This is one on my back. I had 4 incisions that he did in my arm. My arm looked like this. Nothing was wrong with it. I had 4 incisions in my arm. And mind you, my arm been like this since 2018, guys. October 2018. It's almost 2020. Well, it's 2000. Ain't no almost. It's 2020. Almost been 2 years that my arm been like this, neglected for medical attention. And when I said after my surgery, it felt like my arm was like I couldn't move it, and I kept telling them my arm hurt. They was thought I was they thought I was playing Pinocchio. But after the time went on, seeing him every month, he noticed that my arm wouldn't move. Only can move this. This is all I can move from here to there. That's it. This is all I can move. I cannot move this to up there or nothing. But what I was to say was, when it's your time on anything, when it's God say it's for you, it's for you. Praying on it and stuff like that is, they say pray, but do we pose to pray for material things? We never know. Do we pose to pray? I mean, we can pray for our life to be better, as in following Him and doing what we're supposed to do in life in the light of His eyes. But as far as praying um for material things, I don't I don't actually know you know if that fits His eye, because at the end of the day, you praying for material things instead of praying. Say, well, I'm gonna pray. I wanna help the church. You know, help me help you. Help me help the church. Help me, give tithes and help me, try to help somebody's life better. You know what I mean? Instead of it's all, well, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's all about them. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, yeah. So is it a two? Do you pray for helping, or do you pray for stuff? Is what I would never know. Nobody would never know. But I'm just throwing it out there. Do you pray for stuff, or do you pray for helping people, or do you pray for self? Because as a kid, I always wanted to, help my family, and say one day, I can get something for my family. It's always it's barely about me, for real. It's barely about me, and I'm just that person. It's barely me. I want to help, you know, my own, for real. I want to help my. I always been like that. Family members, and my grandma used to get mad because I used to feed the kids, and their parents were doing drugs, and she'd be like, "No, don't feed them my food. They got parents." And them kids probably look at me like, you know, and I always was, helping somebody. And it wasn't my food to give away, because at the end of the day, they parents got food stamps, I'm quite sure. My grandpa bought that food, and I'm feeding them food and stuff like that. Which at the time, it was just something to do. I thought in that, in that mind frame, and we all come from some type of, background. Not saying like, cause we didn't really have like that. We had, but we lived in my grandparents' house, you know, and stuff like that. And they make sure you eat and stuff like that. Your parents at work, and all that stuff, trying to get better and work and get a house, and and all that other stuff. So I think she was probably doing it on the strength of that because I don't know how she realized. Well, you know, my aunts and all, they had good backgrounds, guys. Let me just put it there. My grandparents came here from South Carolina back in the 50s, I think, and my uncle was born in Wade, South Carolina, and they came here, and they brought the infant with them. They came here and stuff like that. Not to be, but and and they strived. They didn't have nobody here. It was just them, and they strived in life to, give their kids the best life that was available. My aunts and my uncles, it was five of them, and they went to school, Catholic school, all of them. My uncle went to Martha Washington in Philadelphia, which is now 1 year, and then after that, he went to Catholic school. And what I'm about to say is they had a good background. They had a good bringing up. They ain't need for nothing. They didn't need for nothing. And then we came because our parents had the kids young. My aunt had my 17, then my other aunt 15. So now the grandparents is helping with the kids. They're raising the kids and stuff like that. And I'm just say that is because that's where I came from. I came from that living in my grandparents' house till I was like 10, thinking my grandparents was my parents. And I really thought that I knew my mom was. It was just confusing. I knew who my mom was. I knew who my dad was. It was just confusing as a kid, to see, your grandparents together and your mom working all the time and not spending no time with you. So you get hooked up with the people that's thinking they your parents. And I used to call my grandma mom and said one day she said, don't do that. And I miss my grandma would have been 97. The 23rd, she'd have been 97. My grandpa this year would have been 100 years old, guys. So my grandparents was old. They was old when we was growing up, but I just didn't know, they was old like that. They was already old. And at the end of the day, we grew up and like I said, and they had it all. But at the end, it didn't work. My uncle drunk. I love him dearly. He passed away this year. I will never disrespect my family as far as they downfall because it did affect us. But that's still I wouldn't take it back for the world. I wouldn't take it back for the world, guys. My uncle was he drunk. He was an alcoholic. My two aunts got high. You know what I mean? They tried to strive to keep up, but at the end of the day, the drugs took them over. You know, and you know, and just so happened that my mom cleaned herself up. You know, my uncle cleaned himself up. Everybody got high. The whole goddamn, all the kids got high. Put it like that. High is a high, don't matter. They all did. And at the end of the day, it's just like I said, I wouldn't change it for the world because that's who. You're not saying that's what I seen, but that's my family. I can't say I don't like y'all because y'all messing up our lives and stuff. No, I never. It was some things I didn't like with my aunt because, like I said, my grandparents always made a way for us. They always made a way for us to survive and live and stuff like that. So whatever my aunts and them, they didn't have to do that. Is what I'm saying. And at the end of the day, we I mean, we struggle, from addiction to the trying to get right. You know what I mean? And we dysfunctional. We's a dysfunctional family, guys. We's a dysfunctional family, and I'm being honest. I can't be no more honest than what I'm saying right now. And my they drunk too, and that's probably was another reason why the kids end up like that. And I have to be honest. I love my grandparents, but like I said, my grandpa didn't drink or smoke when we was growing up. I never seen my but my grandma did every week, and she made sure we still ate, and the house was clean and stuff like that, you know. And yeah, I just wanted to like put y'all in with my bringing up. I'm not saying it, and then I go to my dad's house on the weekends or my grandma's house on the weekends and stuff like that. And my grandpa passed away, and I have an aunt I never met. I know her now. I seen her. I will always be like, when my dad told me, my aunt's 50 years old. I'm 41. It's like, once my grandpa passed away, nobody reached out to her or anything, and that wasn't right. That wasn't right. It wasn't right because now I only have two aunts. I have an aunt, my grandpa's side, my aunt Helena, and then I have my dad's youngest sister. She about 60 almost, but yeah, and them, and at the end of the day, um, yeah, my dad didn't never let me take me to my aunt's house, and that's down North Philly, Huntington Park, Huntington Park. I don't remember him taking me down there, being selfish or whatever, because his dad, he didn't even keep me, take me down there or anything to even, meet my aunt. And for some reason, I don't know why, my grandpa seen me when he passed away 6 months. I was 6 months and my grandpa seen me. My grandpa heard it, and my mom, told me story, a little story of me and stuff in that nature. And I never, got the chance to meet my aunt, and it wasn't fair to her either because when my grandpa died, I think my aunt was like 8 or 9, and then my grandpa worked, so she went to a Christian school. My dad and them went to, I mean, my mom and them went to Catholic, my aunts and them, and then my uncles on my dad's side, they went to Christian school also. It wasn't peaches and cream. And like I said, I always wanted to help out my family as a little kid and stuff like that. I wanted to help my mom out as best as I could. So I went to school. I went to Thompson. That didn't work out good. And but I always tried to put my little sisters and them first before me because they was growing up. You know, and that's just how I was. I really wasn't into, long as my little sisters and them was cool, I was cool. I was cool. I was cool. I didn't worry about none of that because at the end of the day, that stuff is just because she went out and had all them kids, you know, and so I always wanted to help out with them too. Then I went to college. I dropped out or whatever. I went there, but not even now. I have my nieces and my nephews and stuff in that nature, and it's not obligated to nobody, not even me. It's just when you doing right, you get blessed for your righteousness. And when you doing wrong, you get your doings for you doing wrong. So with that, being said, when it's like I said, when that's with that being said, your blessings gonna come, and you don't have to ask for them. Is what I'm saying. You don't have to pray on. I want this. I want that. No, pray on helping somebody. It took me forever to, even and I'm not even complaining about that because I was real young wanting to help my family, but me not knowing how old my grandparents was at the time, you know. And then my grandma be like, she was the one. Let me read your palms, and you want this and that and all this stuff. But at the time, you're not knowing your grandparents was that old at the time, so they last a long time, you know, and trying to help them out, knowing that they already was old and stuff that you just can't do it. So it was like your sisters then got old and all that other stuff. But like I said, as long as you trying to help people, that's your blessings right there. You shouldn't have to go and ask the Lord, oh, can you? I want this or I want that. Ask Him, can you help me help somebody? Can you help me help somebody that need help? Give to the church, give to the synagogues, give back to the temples. You know what I mean? Doing in them things, and that will please Him the most. You know, doing God's work, doing God's work that He done, that He had done for the people. People helps people, you know. But yeah, and it's not too small or too much because I know just the other day I had a couple dollars and I got tested with that money. I got tested with that money because as I walked, I seen this man. He was a white homeless man, and I don't judge nobody. I don't look at him because some of them. But I had gave him six. I know I couldn't take some my money off anybody's card like that, and I had $6 in my pocket, and I had to keep some for myself because that day. But it didn't matter as long as I gave him. And I said, well, I'll give you this. You can get something. But I had to think. I said, never mind, sir. You don't. I gave you that money. You don't have to do what you want to do with it. That was and this was in 2 days. No, 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 I'm lying. The same day I seen another man, another homeless man. He was black, laying on the bench at the bus stop. Now I gave him $10 because that was all I had in my pocket. I gave that man my last $10, and it was meant for him to have that $10 because when I left the thing, I think I had, I don't remember, but I just know when I got to that bench on the Roosevelt Boulevard, I only had $10 in my pocket. I was like, well, I gave the other man six. I'm gonna try to get him six too, but I didn't feel like walking back to the store and coming back. So he was asleep, and I said it, and I said the $10. I ain't like put it on his neck, but I'm not gonna lie, I let it drop because with this stuff going on, and they don't wash up, you know, and that's germ. I'm like not talking about nobody and stuff like that, but and I gave him the $10, and I didn't have no. That was my last $10 that I gave that man, and I didn't know it at the time, and I didn't look at it at the time. That was a test from God. That was a test from the man upstairs. He tests you. He will test you. Yes, he will. And like I said, this is not a gospel channel, or this is not this is a mukbang channel and stuff like that. But I'm just talking, and um, I gave that man my last $10, guys. my last $10, and I felt good. And then after I did that, I was like, wow, that's a test, because that man just came out of nowhere. That white man did. Two homeless people came in one day. Two in one. So you gotta, you like, stuff happening and you don't catch on to it, you get judged for that. If you don't, yeah, he will judge you. Oh, you what? Look, I see you got money, and you just walk past these two men, and they, they don't want too much. They want something to eat. They don't get high. They want to eat. It's a difference. You can tell the ones that get high and the ones that don't get high. You can tell. And they wanted to eat, even though $6 wasn't a lot. But that day, his stomach, they stomachs was full that day. They stomachs was full that day, and whatever they did with their money, that was on them. God gave them that money. They received that money from the man upstairs. It wasn't from me. It was from the man upstairs, that I was a messenger, and sent them that money, and gave them that money because he told me to. He said he put them in my face. That never happened to me before. And he brought them in my face, and said, well, I'm going to see what you want to do. Yeah, because he tests you just like people test you. People test you, but when he tests you, you better get it. You better get it when he tests you. I'm telling you, because we are people. That's the creator. It's a difference. You ain't got to worry about these um testing these people. You better worry about pleasing that man upstairs. Is what we need to be worrying about. Me too. But yeah, on that note, guys, I love y'all. Like, share, and comment. Thanks for liking and even looking at my videos. I've been on here for 3 months now, continuing to last for 10 and 15 years. It's not up to me, but with that being said, I thank each and every one of y'all for just breezing through my videos. And I have many, many, many more ahead for y'all. And yeah, peace, love, and hair grease. Stay sucker free. Love one another. Give, and don't always receive. But on that note, have a blessed Tuesday. One.